Hi and welcome to today's video. You'll have to excuse me in this video because I lost my voice a couple of days ago and it's only just coming back. So I do sound a little bit funny, but I really wanted to film this video because I'm aware that it is results day this coming week. I assume it's on Thursday because I think it's on Thursday every year. But I thought that I would just share a little bit of wisdom and a few tips on how to deal with results day if you don't get the results you wanted. If you get the results you wanted, you don't need to watch this video, but I assume you're probably watching it before you've got your results, so you know how to deal with the day. So this is basically going to be me telling you my experience with results day last year. So it's a little bit of a story time as well as an advice video because my results day was very, very traumatic. Obviously the universities get your results before you do, so the university I had put as my first choice actually let you know before you got your results whether you got in or not. So I woke up, I think results day opened at about 9 I want to say, so this was before 9. I think they put the things up on the uni website at about 8 or something. Anyway, I woke up and I checked it and it said I hadn't got my place. So at this point I know that I haven't got the results I wanted. I know that they're obviously going to be lower than what the grade offer was, the grade offers. At this point I proceeded to have a massive nosebleed that went everywhere, and when I say massive I mean it was just pouring out my nose. When I managed to get downstairs, it looked like I had been in a murder scene because it was on my hands and it got on my face. Anyway, that's just a small little part of the trauma. Anyways, then me and my parents went to the school and we actually got there before results opened, so that I could get in there first and I'd know what to do. Anyway, my mum had basically organised me for this because I was in too much of a state to organise myself. So I'm just going to say what to organise before you go to school, possibly the night before, just in case. We had a folder full of my previous grades, my GCSE grades, my GCSE certificates, my AS certificates, and also my medical letters because I had a few health problems which didn't help in me getting the grades that I needed because I missed a lot of school, but that is a completely different story. But anyway, universities are meant to take that kind of thing into account. So we also took my laptop and a notebook. My mum took her phone, I took my phone, and obviously chargers for all of these things. So when we got to school, we were there early, got up to my sixth form because it was in a school but the sixth form's kind of in the top building. So we went up there and were waiting outside the common room because that's where you go and get your results, and there was some teachers milling around and there was a few of, luckily all of the other people who were there early happened to be my friends, which was quite nice because obviously you don't want bunch of people that you're not really friends with seeing you in floods of tears. Anyway, so as soon as it opened, we went in and I got my results, and I actually got the results I wanted in the two subjects that I'm taking at uni. This is the annoying thing, is I took English literature and philosophy and ethics, and then I took biology as well. I'm completely fine with English lit and philosophy and ethics. Those I got the grades that I needed and that I wanted. But I very, very much struggled with biology for the whole 2 years, and I even resat one of the AS papers, which I did do better in, but obviously I didn't get the grade that I wanted in biology. So then, again, I'm in floods of tears again, and I go to my head of sixth, I'm like, haven't got in, and apparently for some reason on UCAS, it had not shown my name as one of the students in my school that had gone into clearing. So my head of sixth obviously hadn't prepared for me to not get in. He told us just ring the uni, the first choice uni, explain what's happened, see if they'll give you a place, and if not, obviously you're gonna have to go into clearing. If you're wondering, my second choice uni actually had higher grades than my first choice because I actually preferred the first choice to the second choice. So we had independent study rooms in my school, so they're like small little meeting rooms. So me and my parents went in one of those, and I proceeded to call the uni. I'm not going to say what their name is because, to be quite honest, the woman in administration was horrible. there is me on the phone in floods of tears, and all she could say in a very, very stern, harsh voice was, yeah, but you didn't get the grades. I'm like, well, I've got the grades in the subjects that I'm doing. But anyway, she said that they're still going through everyone's applications who didn't get in, so they'd call me back. I called quite a few times that day and they never called me back. I had to call every single time. You kind of have to accept your clearing place by the end of, I think you have to accept it by the end of the day on results day, so just bear that in mind. Or if the uni has given you a clearing place, then you need to accept it within a certain amount of time, so please bear that in mind when you are getting clearing places. So on UCAS you can have an option of where unis will call you. If they can look through anyone who's in clearing, and if they like you they can call you and offer you a place, and I had a couple of unis doing that, none of which were ones that I actually wanted to go to. On to the advice section, I'm going to say make sure you have a practice phone call for your clearing, because you have to call up to go through clearing. So this is why you need a laptop. You need to see who has places open on your course. That's all on the UCAS clearing website. So anyway, I'm looking on that, and then there is the list of unis doing the course that you want with places open. Anyway, on that list was a uni that I had been to visit, which I did not like. I knew that I didn't like it, so I called there first as a practice to see what I was going to say. And they offered me a clearing place, which was very nice of them. Obviously I did not accept that place. I also called my second choice, even though it had higher grades, to ask if there was any chance they'd let me in. The reason I had two phones, I had my phone and my mum's phone, is that my first choice said they'd call me back with any news. So my phone, I couldn't call on it in case they were going to ring, so I was calling on my mum's phone. So yeah, me and my mum were just kind of going through all of the different unis that I could call, and my dad went and got us a Costa, because there's a Costa in the village where my sixth form was. We were calling quite a few unis, and the ones, I got quite a few clearing offers from the ones I called, just not from my first or second choice. Anyway, I was very lucky. I called a university, which is the university that I am going to in September. And it wasn't one that I'd actually looked at when I was originally applying on UCAS. Anyway, it's a red brick uni, so obviously I was like, well, they're probably not going to offer me a place because I hadn't got the grades. Anyway, I called them to see if they would offer me anything, and I called and I was like, these are my grades, this is what I want to do. And the lady was really nice. She was like, give me 2 minutes and I'll be back with you in a minute. I'm going to see what we can do for you. So I was on hold for literally, it was only like 30 seconds, and she was like, I can offer you a place not this year but next year. So I was like, okay, that's good, okay, we can deal with this. So I had that offered there, and at that point I was like, this was like 3 in the afternoon by this point, so I'd been calling, I'd been crying, I'd been doing whatever else. So yeah, at this point it was 3 in the afternoon about, I think. So we decided that let's just go home and continue this from home. Well, I actually went back to my dad's house because the phone reception at my dad's house is better than at my mum's house. Anyway, by the end of the day I obviously had to accept one of the clearing places I had been offered, so I accepted the one for the uni that I'm going to in September, which is really soon. I've got my move-in date and I've got my halls now. Yeah, so I accepted that, but I was still waiting on my first choice, so I was a bit like iffy as to whether to accept it or not, in case I disappeared from the clearing list from my uni of first choice, who were absolutely appalling. Like, if you went on social media that day, if you typed in that uni, everyone was like, I don't know what's happening. They have no information, they're not letting anyone in through clearing, they're keeping everyone on hold, like the phone lines, you can't get through, they don't have enough staff. It was very, very, very badly organised on their part, and they were honestly the worst uni out of all of the ones I called. All of the other ones were completely, like, they were organised, they knew what they were doing, they could offer you a place right away. But yeah, so my tips are definitely try and stay calm, but definitely the night before, get your laptop and basically like any notebooks that you want to write down notes in for clearing. I still have that notebook with all my clearing notes in somewhere. And make sure you have like, you know what your GCSE grades are, you know what your AS grades were, you know what your A-level grades are. Try and think what you're going to say on the phone if you don't get your grades. Like, try and think how you're going to make the case for you to get into the uni that you want to get into. And also don't be disappointed when you don't get into your first or second choice, because honestly for me, I hadn't even looked at the uni that I'm going to, and we went up to my grandparents a couple of days after I'd accepted this clearing place, and like I knew I was going there because I hadn't got into the other one. Like, they'd eventually sorted out what was ever wrong with their clearing system and definitely hadn't got in. So I was like researching their courses at the uni I'm going to, and it's actually a way better course than what I thought. There's way more modules to choose from. It's also closer to home. Not that that's a big thing, like it's not that close to home, but the other one was very far away. Basically it's higher in the league tables. It's definitely worked out for the best. I got a year break, which was really good for my health. As I mentioned earlier, I do have like some health problems, so that was really good, having a year off and being able to go to a uni that is not only a better uni but actually has a better course for what I want to do. There's so many modules that I can choose from. I mean, I've already picked the ones I want to do for first year, so hopefully when I go there I'll be able to pick those ones. But yeah, definitely make sure you are prepared. You just need to make sure you've got phones, you know what you're saying, you're ready to accept offers, just know a little bit about the different unis. And clearing isn't a fun process. It really wasn't fun at all. You're always going to be upset when you don't get into your first choice, but just remember that there are so many good unis in this country that at least one of them will want you, and it will probably be the right uni for you. I think that definitely what my experience wasn't fun, but it's definitely worked out for the best because I'm going to a better uni with a better course. But also, I'm just going to say, if you don't get the grades you wanted, I know that a lot of people didn't end up going through clearing for their first choice uni. Like, their first choice was like, oh, you didn't get the grades you wanted, oh well, we'll have you anyway, like we still like you. And if not, like their second choice took them. So there was a lot of people in my school that didn't get the grades but got into their first choice. I think there was a total of, there's about 100 people in my year, I think, maybe a bit more, and I think there was 13 people who were going through like proper clearing. So I wouldn't worry too much because like it's a small fraction of people that go through it, like about 10%, well at least at my school anyway. Like, if you don't get into your first choice, then it probably wasn't the right uni for you. Anyway, I know that for me, going through clearing definitely made my, well, I haven't started uni yet, but it definitely worked out for the best for me. So good luck with your results, and if you don't get the results you want, I hope clearing is less stressful on you than it was on me, but I'm sure you'll get into a great uni. But I hope this video helped in some way. I know it wasn't very well structured, but I hope me telling you a bit about my clearing experience has helped you or will help you if you end up going through clearing. All the best of luck with your exams, and I will see you in my next video.